Hello everybody, I am Lovable Hatsune Miku, and in today's video I will be showing you guys how to wash plush toys. Well, frankly, this is how I wash my plush toys. Everyone does it differently, but today I will show you guys how I wash some of my plushies, and that can be like any plushie, like the stuffed toy, or to like even like, anime little plushies. And today's toy I will be washing is my Twilight Sparkle plushie. Well, given the fact of the background, I will show you guys how I wash my plushies, and today I will be washing her. And honestly, you guys, it's really easy how I wash my plushies, and you guys will be like super amazed of how I wash them because of how easy it is. So what you will need for this is you will need some OxiClean over there, and I recommend the OxiClean that protects color. You'll definitely need that. So definitely get OxiClean, that's something you will need. You guys can also use like Tide, but I'm going to use OxiClean because of, it will get the white stuff clean, because my Twilight Sparkle plushie hasn't been cleaned ever since I got her because I originally got this from Value Village, and the previous owner didn't really take very good care of it. As you can see, she's a little bit dirty. It's a little bit hard to tell. And also guys, I stuffed up her tail a little bit because I know how to sew. So I'm thinking in the future I will show you guys how to sew, but for today I will show you guys how to wash my plushie. And it's super easy, so let's get on with it, you guys. Okay, so now what you guys want to do is go to your sink, and that can be like any sink. It can be like a bathroom sink or the kitchen sink. Personally, I prefer the kitchen sink because it's bigger, and depending on what toy you are going to wash, it's best if you use the kitchen sink because it has a lot of more space. So what you are going to do is first of all, make sure that your sink is very nice and clean. Make sure nothing like no food or anything yucky is in there, because you don't really want that on your plush toy. So what you're going to do is, get the thing and put it in there, and you're going to set the water to warm. Now, it doesn't really matter, you can wash it in cold or hot, but personally I like doing it in warm water because who really wants to wash their hands in cold water? And just wash it at whatever temperature your hands are comfortable with, or whatever you can handle, because be warned, if you wash it in really hot water, like really hot, that would really hurt. So I'm just going to leave it at this. And what you want to do is, I'm going to use like half a cup. If you guys can see, I'm going to use half. And basically what you guys do is just put it in, and you guys just let it sit for a while, like maybe 5 minutes, and then come back to it later. Okay, so when your sink is nice and filled up, I filled mine up about like halfway because, the plush toy isn't really that big. What you want to do is you just want to slightly put your hand in there and just kind of move it around, so like the stuff, like you don't want all that yucky stuff at the bottom, because it kind of just sits there and it kind of feels like sand. What you want to do is that you want to use your hand and just slightly stir it. You can use a spoon if you're not comfortable with touching it. Honestly feels like sand, but yeah, you just stir it for a little while until you don't feel any more of those little spectacles at the bottom. So right now, I say like they're halfway gone, but I'm going to keep stirring for a little bit. And usually I don't really add it when the water's running. I just felt like doing that because usually I put it in after, but really guys, it doesn't matter. It's like OxiClean. It doesn't matter how you do it. So I'd say half of the particle things are halfway gone, so I think it's time to put the toy in. So what you want to do is that you want to grab your plush toy that you were washing and just slightly put it in the water and just let it sit there for a while. Make sure like it absorbs all the water, because really you want to get the toy all nice and wet when you're washing it. Just let it sit there. Let all the OxiClean do its thing. And when you pick it up, just let it sit. Oh wow, she's really heavy, you guys. Holy cow. You might want to squeeze her. It's a little bit too heavy. And basically, guys, what you do is you just rub it. That's all you do. You also can use your nails, but I don't really have short nails, as you guys can see, so it's a little bit hard. But I have like one short nail. If you guys just want, you just scrub it like the way you would scrub your hair, and that's basically how you wash your plushies. It's really easy, you guys. So you just want to make sure and get nice suds on there. And this won't harm the toy at all, in case you guys were wondering. This will not damage it at all. Some people want to put it in the washer or the dryer. Please don't do that because it will wreck your toy. Not like super wreck, but it won't be as soft anymore. But tips to that is you can put it in a pillow sheet with blanket sheets or anything else, It might protect the toy, but it won't be as soft. That's why I like doing mine hand washed, because I like my toys nice and soft, and I can already see a big change, you guys. She's like already clean, because before she was like really dirty. Her eye was kind of like brownish. So I'm pretty happy of the way she's turning out. That's why I like using OxiClean. You guys can use Tide if you want. Sometimes people use Tide and OxiClean at the same time. I was thinking of doing that, but couldn't really happen that way because, you know, detergent is really expensive. I think this was like, I think I got this at Walmart. Yeah, I definitely did. And I think this was maybe $8. I can't remember. I could be wrong. I was, you know. So once you feel like you were done with that, you know, just soak her in there a little bit more. Make sure she's nice and soaked. And what you want to do is lift the toy up, depending on what toy you're using. Just let it, you know, make sure all the water comes out and squeeze it. You want to squeeze it real good because that's going to be very important later on. So make sure you squeeze it nice and good. You know, it's best to start with like the end piece first because the head is usually the heaviest part of the stuffed toy. Depending on what stuffy you're using. Since I'm using a pony, her head is the biggest, so actually her whole body's pretty heavy, but I'd say her head has most water in it, so you want to squeeze that nice and good. Make sure you get the hair. And then when you're done with that, it's like nice and squeezed. She's not dripping as much. It's okay, she's dripping a little bit, but yeah. Once you do that, you can empty your water. Oh, see, there's like a little bit of that stuff. I don't know if you guys can see it, but a little bit of that stuff at the bottom, but don't worry too much about that. This won't damage your sink. Okay, finish up. So what you want to do now is run the water, and I'm sorry if you guys can't hear me. Put your toy under it and, you know, just wash it and make sure all the suds get out of the toy. You want to keep squeezing it until you see like no more suds. It's really easy, you guys, and I really like doing this because it's actually really good for your hands. You know, all those like pressure points and stuff. It's also best for the toy too. I mean, you guys can do it the other way if you want, but personally it won't be as soft in my opinion. I remember because one time I did that with one of my toys. It was like a really cute little seal. It was like a puppet too. Oh my god. It was like so soft. And I was dumb enough to ask my mom to put it in the washer or in the dryer. And when it came out, it wasn't as soft anymore, and it was such a disappointment because it was such a cute little seal, and because of my dumb actions it's not as soft anymore. Okay, so you want to keep like doing this until you feel like, you know, I'd say she's fairly clean, but just in case, give her one more rinse. Then after that you want to give her one last squeeze, one big squeeze. It's a little hard for me because I'm not really good at this, but usually I squeeze as much as I can. Since this is a toy, a pony toy, a lot of water in the legs. Her head is like the most heaviest in my opinion. And I don't care if you guys judge me for washing a pony. Of course, My Little Pony is my favorite show, so I'm just showing you guys how it's done. I could have picked any toy, but I already washed my Vocaloid toys because they were, well, before I used a plush toy before this. It was a Pushin, if you know that little cat. I used that as a test subject first, sorry. Just to make sure like I did it right, and then I did it on my Vocaloids, and they were good, so now I'm doing the real thing. So yeah, I think she is nice and, holy cow, she has a lot of water in her. Sorry you guys, it's a little bit different with the pony, because when it was the Vocaloids, I didn't have to squeeze as much, because they were like, I guess they're like about the same height. I hope the she has like cotton balls in her tail. I hope in the future I can do a video tutorial of like how to put more cotton in the hair and teach you guys how to sew. I would love to do that. So yeah, I'd say she's about done. What do you guys think? I think she's about done. Okay, you guys, now that the pony is nice and washed, what I have done is I just let her sit there, and usually, depending on how big your plush toy was, she's probably going to take overnight. And the way you dry this, you can use like, I've seen some people use like paper towel, but honestly you guys, the best way to make your plush or toy dry is just let it air dry. And what I mean by that is just let it sit like that overnight, and usually by the next morning it's usually dry. Every toy that I've washed so far is like, it usually takes one night to let it over dry. It just, you know, dries overnight, and it's really good. So as you can see, she's like still wet, you know, like she's she feels very wet, but I think she's going to be like an overnight, so when she is done drying, I will show you guys, and she will be as soft as before. Alright guys, so now my Twilight plushie has fully dried. She's all nice and clean, as you guys can see. Very happy of how she turned out. Before, you guys, she was really dirty, and she's like really clean, and she took about like 2 days to dry, so not that bad. And that's basically how you wash a plushie, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, I will see you again. Goodbye.